His mate, his prisoner. Episode 6. Previous episodes are available in playlist, a link is given in the video description. Chapter 59. Maya, I fight with everything inside of me, with all of the strength that I could muster. I'm doing everything that I can possibly do to stop Kane before it becomes too late. Before, he regretted everything and blamed himself once more. I lightly touch his face and turn him to look at me properly, and while staring into his pretty eyes, I say, I'm not Maya. Kane gets lost in my eyes, and I'm both happy and sad that I'm finally getting through to him. I don't think he fully understands what's happening, but he does seem to see me more clearly now. His eyes are sad before they slowly begin to close. I think I've finally managed to get him to stop, and it breaks my heart even though I'm the one that made this happen. Why couldn't I be selfish? Why did I have to care about his feelings for that woman? His body falls on mine suddenly, and it takes me a moment to realize that he's unconscious. He's too heavy for me to drag him back inside. And so, I helped guide him to a bench and sat down next to him. His face fell on my neck, and I gently held him close to me. Why does it feel so familiar to me? Why did my heart seem to recognize him when he didn't remember me? Austin Kane's words have not left me since the planned funeral for Maya became a complete fail. I cancelled the entire thing after he left. Knowing how much my sister trusted and adored me was enough to make me highly disappointed in myself. He was right. I shouldn't have accepted her death so readily. I should have been out searching for her. I should find the people who took her from me instead of hosting a funeral. She would have expected more from me. I've let my sister down on multiple occasions, and I didn't want to let her down anymore. She was always our innocent princess, our sweet Maya. It was time that I did the right thing for her. I wouldn't be a fool anymore. I won't let my pride make me follow through with foolish plans. It was time that I acted like the alpha prince that I've proven time and time again to be. My pack didn't get its title for no reason. We worked to reach the top, and nothing would bring us down now. No matter what happened to me, I would make sure to find out what happened to my sister. And if she's still alive, I will do everything in my power to bring her home. I already spoke to my brothers, and they felt the same way. We've protected her for her entire life, kept her sheltered, and given her everything she has ever wanted. She was the best sister any of us could ever ask for. She made us happy, her presence was our joy. Now, it felt incomplete without her. I had to keep holding on to the memories of her. I didn't trust Kane, but his actions at the funeral were enough to tell me that he did love my sister. No one could act so good, his emotions were real. He didn't kill her. Which meant that I had to search for her killer like he was doing. Or the person that took her and possibly still has her since, according to Kane, he knows that she is alive. Since he was her mate, he may know more than we did. He would sense her presence a lot stronger than us. Baby Roman stirs in my arm, reminding me that I am still holding him. I was still upset with the things I'd said to Maya. It was never my place to ask her to abort her child or give him up for adoption. I thought I was suggesting the right thing for her, but I was wrong. The decision was always hers. She was the one that had to give the final say on what she wanted to do. I love my sister, all I wanted was to make her life better. Somehow, I managed to make it worse. I've always had this problem even before I met Lucy. I still need to learn how to deal with situations like this better. I tend to mess up everything. My decisions have been poor lately, and I have had little time to work on them. I had to fight to do the right things from now on, to be careful of the words that left my mouth. Not just for the people around me but also for my sleeping baby in my arms. My baby. I would always protect him with my life. I was terrified of any harm ever coming to him. I can't imagine how Maya must have felt when I suggested getting rid of hers. I mutter a few silent curses, careful not to wake my son. I believe him, Lucas says to me as he enters the room. Lucy walks in behind him and takes our son from me. I'll put him in the crib and be right back. I believe that Maya is still alive. He continues. I would know if she was dead, Austin. We've been inseparable since birth. You know how close the both of us are. Kane is telling the truth. Maya is alive. I know she is, but she's definitely in danger, and we need to get to her before we lose her for good. Are you even allowed to be here right now, Lucas? I ask him. Gideon hated our guts. There is no way that he let him out of that dreadful place knowing that he would come here to see his family. I'm on honeymoon with my wife, Lucas says to me, and I can hear the edge to his voice. She was nice enough to let me come here after hearing rumors about Maya. I wasn't sure if it were true until I got here and saw the funeral. How are you, brother? I ask him. No one knew how much Lucas was hurting as his family did. We knew that this was one of the hardest things that anyone could possibly have to go through. It was almost as painful as losing your mate. He had married the sister of his mate. I don't know how my brother could be so strong to do something like that. Even I wasn't that strong. This isn't about me, Austin, he says, avoiding my question. He doesn't need to answer me, I can already tell how sad and miserable he is. This is about Maya. I want to find my sister. I need to find her and bring her home. We need to find her. She needs us more than ever now. We've been there for her during her entire life. We will be there for her now, too. I don't care what either of us is going through. We must put it all aside and bring her back to us, where she will be safe and happy once more. I nod. I couldn't agree more. It was time for another battle. One where we would bring our sister home. And this time for good. No one will ever be able to take her from us after this. Kane, I groan and hold my head as the sunlight touches my face. Where was I right now? I slowly open my eyes and wince as the light hits me directly in my eyes. I look at my surroundings, and it's only then that it dawns on me that I'm in the garden. How did I end up here? It's not like anyone would drag me to the garden, I must have come here of my own will. I close my eyes and try to remember the events of last night. Everything felt hazy to me. I knew I got drunk after getting engaged to Giselle. It broke me inside to see that I was truly being forced to be with her. I couldn't stop thinking about Maya during the entire ceremony. I was terrified of what would happen when word started to spread. Wherever she was, what if she found out what was happening here? What if she found out that I had gotten engaged to someone else? How would it feel to know that her mate was marrying someone else while she was pregnant with his child and in danger? I didn't want to know how she would feel to know that I kept failing her. I hoped that if she did find out that she would know I wouldn't do it to her on purpose. I could only hope that she realizes that I'm being blackmailed into marrying that woman. It still bothered me that I couldn't remember how I reached here. I remember Giselle pulling me to dance with her. I remember just wanting to get away from her. I didn't like touching that woman, it always made me sick. At least I should be happy that I didn't wake up in bed with Giselle. That would have left a sour taste in my mouth. I wouldn't have been able to recover from something like that. I couldn't stand her, I couldn't wait for the day that I would be able to free my people and get away from this place. I was running out of time, but I wouldn't give up. As long as I knew Maya was waiting for me, I won't give up until I got to her and held her safely in my arms. I pick myself off the bench and pause as a distant memory catches me off guard. I'm not Maya. I held on to those words as I tried to place them together. My memories felt like a puzzle to me right now. I had to try and put them all together. What was I up to last night? Why did someone tell me that they weren't Maya? Who would willingly say her name to me? I was sure of one thing, I wasn't in this garden alone. Someone was out here with me. That would explain the blanket that was on top of me earlier. Who took care of me last night? I took a step forward but stopped when yet another memory blasted me. Say my name. Who did I say that to? This was driving me insane. I should have never drank so much last night, but I couldn't help myself. I was so distraught by the events of last night that I let myself get carried away. Getting engaged to a woman that you absolutely loathe was something that would leave anyone in the state that I was in. Giselle wanted me to show her friends how happy we were. How was I supposed to pretend to be satisfied when I was anything but that? I tried to fight off my feelings as I got back inside. It wouldn't help me if I kept being frustrated over the events of my life. I had to keep a clear head if I wanted to get out of here and save my mate, even though it was proving very difficult for me to do when I had to spend every second of every day next to Giselle and her horrible personality. I'm heading back to my room when I spot a familiar figure walking with folded sheets in her arms. And that's when it hits me so hard that I almost trip on my own feet. The memories are bombarding me one after the next, and I wish it were all just a terrible dream. I didn't. I wouldn't have kissed Giselle's maid when I had my mate waiting for me. I wouldn't be so stupid to do something as foolish as that. But the look on her face tells me that I must have done it. And I must have called her Maya. What was wrong with me? I take long strides toward her and pull her into my room. What are you doing? She demands from me. Giselle is already looking for you. Imagine if she comes in here and sees us in here together. I wish you would think before you do things like this. I don't want to talk about Giselle right now, I snap as I squeeze my temples in frustration. I want to know what happened last night. I can barely remember anything, and the things that I remember seem impossible to have happened. You're the only one that can tell me exactly what I did. She folds her arms over her chest. Why do you think anything happened last night? You were drunk. That was all. You were there in the garden with me. I ask her. Weren't you? Her eyes search my face. What exactly are you trying to ask me, Kane? I'm not sure that you want me to answer these questions. It doesn't matter what I want, I growl, growing impatient. Tell me word for word what happened out there between us. Us. She asks. Nothing happened. You have nothing to worry about. You were drunk, I didn't want to see you like that. I felt sorry for you and guided you to the bench. I later left some blankets for you and went back to my room to sleep. There is nothing else for me to explain. Was she telling the truth? Why did I remember things that made me want her more than ever? Her body felt like it came alive under my touch. It felt too real for it just to be a dream. And when I kissed her, she tasted just like Maya. It's why I said her name. Everything about her kept reminding me of the woman I loved. And now she wants me to believe that it was just a dream? Was it just a dream? Was my mind and body playing tricks with me? Maya, it's hard to keep a straight face while Kane is trying his best to get me to tell him the truth about yesterday. I promised myself that I would do everything I could to keep that truth from him. I can see how much it's already hurting him. How much it's bothering him after remembering that he kissed me last night. It's why I'm trying my best to convince him that nothing happened. I didn't want Kane to feel bad for a mistake that I made. I'm the one that allowed the kiss to happen even after knowing he was drunk. It's not like he would have kissed me otherwise. I was nothing but a burden to Kane. I kept asking him for help and getting both of us into trouble. I didn't want to be the reason why he also hated himself. We were both causing trouble for each other the closer we got. But according to Kane, we weren't even close. He only pitied me, it was the only reason he had helped me in the past. While he said something along those lines, I didn't fully believe him. I didn't think anyone would put themselves in danger so many times to help someone only because they pitied them or felt sorry for them. Are you sure that's all that happened? He asks me. I held my breath. Why did I not like lying to him? I shouldn't feel bad when I was only doing this to help him. I felt tiny underneath his piercing gaze. Those eyes felt like they were staring into my soul. As always, they felt so familiar to me and like I could stare at them for days without getting bored. I'm sure. I lie. Can I leave now? I can't stay here much longer, and I've already answered your questions. We can go on with our lives acting like we don't care about each other now. I say those words because that's what he's always wanted from the beginning. For us to not be close, he didn't want to be close to anyone except Maya. It felt weird now that I knew her name. Something about that name made me feel uneasy. Every time I thought about it or heard that name, something felt strange inside me. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Perhaps that name bothers me because I know how much she means to Kane. How did anyone love the way that he did? She wasn't even near him, and still, he kept trying his best to keep her in his heart. He was trying his best to keep everyone else away from him. I knew he was failing, but it was only because Giselle had something against him. I turn to leave but pause when I hear his footsteps. I gasp when he grips me and buries his face against my neck. It took my body a while to figure out what was happening. It was always hard for me to remember anything when his hands were on my body. What on earth was he doing? His grip on me tightens as his nose touches the base of my throat. My body went completely numb when I felt him inhale my scent. Why did he do that? My body shudders at his small actions. I was about to push him away when I noticed his body was shaking from rage. What made him so angry? I don't think I've ever seen him this pissed before. I wanted to ask him what was wrong but convinced myself not to. Maybe I don't want to know his answer. You lied to me. He growls. My lips part at his words. He isn't asking me a question, he sounds sure that I lied to him. How did he know this? I've done nothing to give away that I was lying to him. Did he suddenly regain all of his memories from last night? I had to pretend like I didn't know anything, I had to stick to my lie if I wanted him to believe me. I don't know what you're talking about. I try to deny the truth. But Kane isn't having any of it. His grip tightens on me once more, and my breath gets stuck in my throat. I can smell me on you. Do you expect me to believe that we didn't kiss last night? I remember, the memory is too strong for me to believe that it didn't happen. That it was all just in my head. Why are you lying to me? Why are you refusing to tell me what happened? I tried to push him away, but he wasn't moving, just like last night. He's sticking to me, not giving me a chance to escape. Can you move? I'm asking you a question. He roars. Why are you lying to me? I've had enough of this. All I'm trying to do is protect him, but if he insists on finding out the truth, there is nothing I can do to stop him from getting what he wants. I tilt my head upwards to stare straight into his cold eyes. Why am I lying to you? I repeat his question. Why do you think I'm lying to you, Kane? That's why I asked the question, because I don't know the answer. He snaps at me. When are you going to tell me the truth? You don't think I see how much you're hurting from the memory of kissing me? I ask him. Do you think I like the idea of you being hurt because you kissed me? Do you think I want that? You're asking me why I lied to you. I hate seeing you in pain, and I hate knowing that I'm the one that caused that pain. You're the only person that protects me when you barely even know me. The last thing I want to do is bring more trouble for you. I can see how much you're already going through, Kane. I rather you think that we didn't kiss if it means that you would be able to sleep at night. He gets exceptionally silent at my confession. You don't have to blame yourself for anything. We both know that you were drunk and didn't know what you were doing. You said her name while kissing me. The name of the woman that you love. The woman that's too special for me to know about. You don't have to feel guilty when you were thinking about her the entire time. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're not at fault. How am I not at fault? He demands from me with a pained look. I'm the one that kissed you. And I tried to do much more than that. If you didn't stop me, what would have happened? It's because of my foolishness. I don't know why you always try to see the good in me when it's clear that I'm bad. I keep messing everything up, and I destroy everything that I touch. I'm sorry for what I did to you last night. It was wrong of me, and you deserve better. I didn't want an apology from him. The last thing I wanted was to hear him apologize for kissing me. He may never know just how much I wanted that. And I was never going to admit it to him, knowing that he was in love with someone and getting married to Giselle. I still couldn't believe that the engagement took place just yesterday. It didn't feel like Kane was now engaged to her. It felt like quite the opposite. Somehow I keep getting tangled with him in crazy situations. I'm not sure how to stop it from happening. Something tells me that I can't easily split from this man. The more I tried to get away from him, the more I would be tied to him. The problem was that I didn't even want to try to get away. It felt like I was holding on to any chance to spend alone with him. I'm not sure what it is about him that makes me feel this way, but it's almost like I have no control. You can let go of me now, I say, reminding him that his hands were still on my waist. Giselle is looking for you. You need to see her before she does something crazy like plan the wedding tomorrow. I know the wedding isn't something that you want. If I were you, I would try my best to keep her happy, that way, she would listen to you more. I knew that it was easier said than done. For Kane to keep Giselle happy, it would require him to actually have some feelings for her. From what I've seen so far, he doesn't feel even the slightest bit of emotion when it comes to her. I notice that his hands tighten on my waist when I mention for him to let me go, but it only lasts for a few seconds before he releases me and turns to look out the window. I'll be there in a few minutes. I want to say something to make him feel better, but I know that there is nothing that I can say to help him. He seems trapped, and he doesn't wish to open up to me or anyone about what's happening to him. I can't help but wish there was some way I could help him free himself from her. If only he would learn to trust me. I'm not sure that he will ever trust me after today. He thinks I'm a liar now, even though my lie was to help him. I sigh and open the door, leaving him in the room. When I walk out and turn the corner, I spot Giselle walking toward me. I hold my breath. If she'd been here just a few minutes earlier, she would have seen Kane and me in the same room together. I don't want to even think about what would have happened if she'd caught us like that. Another reminder for me to be more careful around him. We were too careless, and our emotions kept getting in the way of everything. It was more my emotions than his messing everything up, however. His feelings for Maya were the only thing that made him kiss me last night. It's because he thought that I was her. I, on the other hand, knew that it was him that I was kissing. And it's something that I've wanted for a long time. Did you find him? She asks me. I nod. He's in his room. That's strange, she notes. I was sure that he wasn't. That's where I found him, I state, trying to stay calm even though my heart was racing against my chest. She nods and is about to say something else when I hear his room door close. A few seconds later, he's making his way toward us. His body stiffens when he sees Giselle, but he still greets her with a forced smile. Good morning, he tells her. She beams up at him. I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to spend last night together in my room. I think I knocked out because I partied too much. He nods. It's okay. I think the same thing happened to me. I couldn't remember much of last night. I still can't. My cheeks burn when he looks my way as if to remind me that we shared. I knew his words were a lie. He could remember everything from last night, he said it to me just a few minutes ago. He remembers our kiss that would forever be etched on my memory. I have some exciting news. Giselle continues, not even realizing how Kane is looking at me. While my friend Jenny was here last night, she mentioned that she had a gift for us. A wedding gift. A gift? Kane asks her. The mention of their wedding was enough to catch his attention. If she wanted him to pay attention to her, she had definitely won. She had his undivided attention now. What kind of gift? I knew why he was concerned. Whenever Giselle was this happy, she wanted him to do something that he wouldn't be ecstatic about. What did she have planned for him this time? Or shall I say for us? Because whenever she had anything planned, she always made sure to drag me into it. There is this football game, it's a big one. She explains. Jenny's boyfriend is playing for one of the teams, and she got us tickets to the game. I told her that it was a wonderful gift, and I can't wait for us to attend. Kane folds his arms. A football game? He asks in disbelief. She nods. We leave for it tonight. She didn't even wait for him to decide if he wanted to go. I wouldn't expect anything less from her. She didn't care about what Kane wanted. She only cared about herself. I could only hope that she wouldn't be dragging me along with them. But from the look she gives me, I'm sure I'm included in this little trip. But it definitely wasn't to enjoy the game with them, it was to watch me suffer. Just wonderful. I still can't believe that Giselle is dragging me along to this school game with her and Kane. Even he looks annoyed that she's carrying us all the way there to see her friend's boyfriend play a match. I still didn't understand her. If she hated me so much and saw me as a threat when it concerned Kane, why did she want me there every time they had a chance to spend alone time together? Maybe I was right all along, and she truly enjoyed torturing me. Perhaps she knew it would hurt me to see them together. I tried my best to hide what I felt for Kane, but I don't think that I've ever done an excellent job at it. It was hard to pretend like you didn't care about someone when everything they do affects you. What school are we going to? Kane asks her. Angelight's Academy for the Supernaturals, she answers him. His head snaps up at the mention of this school's name. Only the richest and most powerful students attend that school. She smiles. I know. Jenny's boyfriend is from the school nearby, they're playing against the Angelites Academy. I'm going to support it, and I think it will also give us a chance to bond. After we marry, it will be normal to attend events like those. Plus, I want to have a good relationship with the school to get our children to attend that school in the future. It's challenging to get your kids into that school, many people talk about it. Money was the most important thing for the Angelites Academy. If a child is attending that school, you know that the child comes from a wealthy family. Even the tickets for the game we're attending are costly. Both Kane and I freeze at the mention of their kids. Neither of us wanted him to have any children with her. I would feel sorry for any child that had a mother like her. She wasn't someone that would ever deserve to have a child. She's too selfish to know how to care for a baby. She would never put the child's needs above her own. And I think that Kane knew this as well as I do. He knew that Giselle could never be a good mother. I've noticed on multiple occasions that Kane got extremely frustrated whenever children were mentioned. It makes me wonder if he had any children with Maya. Why else would he react like that whenever anyone mentioned having kids? I know that it's useless trying to ask him about that. He was very private when it came to the woman he loved. And I didn't blame him. He doesn't trust easily, and I can tell that people must have betrayed him in the past to react like that. Or maybe he's had a difficult childhood. We're here. Giselle exclaims. I don't think I've ever seen her this excited over anything, it frightened me. Anything that made this woman happy could never be any good for everyone else around her. I get out of the car and try to ignore the tingling in my hands when I accidentally touch Kane. He doesn't seem to notice, and if he did, he was very good at hiding his emotions. I spot Jenny. She shouts as she walks over to where she was standing. They greet each other with hugs. I try to ignore the dirty look Jenny throws my way. My boyfriend Jacob got us seats on the third row. Jenny tells us. She seems like the type who likes to boast, just like Giselle does. Well, isn't that just wonderful? Giselle asks Kane, who fakes his excitement to get her off his back. I follow behind them when Giselle stops me. Where do you think you're going? She asks me. I knew that something like this was coming. There was no way that she would have brought me to the game with them just for me to sit down and watch. Am I not going to sit beside you? I ask her, already knowing the answer to that question. I knew that she brought me to not only rub it into my face that she was here with Kane but also so that I would do every and anything she wanted to get done. Ha! She laughs. There isn't any space for you, as you can see, the stadium is packed, and we weren't going to waste time paying for a ticket for you. You can find something else to do in the meantime. I maintain my calm. It's not like I wasn't expecting this response. It wouldn't help me if I showed her how annoyed I was. Where shall I go then? I ask her. You can stand somewhere in the back, where you won't bother anyone. Just make sure to be here when I call your name. And you better listen closely above all the noise because there will be severe consequences if you don't come as soon as I say your name. I clench my jaw and move to the back of the stadium when I see three girls talking or having a mini argument. I wasn't sure what was happening between them, but one of them didn't seem happy at all. Please, Scarlett. One of the girls begs. You need to just sit down for a few minutes, and you'll see you will enjoy the game just like you enjoy reading your books. I already agreed to try and make Carter fall in love with me because he broke your heart, just so that I can break his. You're my sister, and he was your boyfriend. I keep trying to make you see that this plan may backfire on all of us, but you won't listen to me. I'm already doing so much, why must I attend this game also? The girl named Scarlett asked her sister. I felt like I was invading their personal conversation, but I had nowhere else to go. However, I wasn't sure if I had just heard them correctly. Did Scarlett's sister want her to flirt with her ex-boyfriend to get revenge on him for hurting her? Even I saw how wrong that was. Carter deserves everything that's coming for him. I'm incredibly grateful that you even considered doing this for me because I asked you to. You're more than my sister Scarlett. I promise you need to continue with this for a little while longer. Carter is already falling for you. I clear my throat, making my presence known. I didn't want them to feel like I was intentionally eavesdropping. I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't have a ticket, so I need to stand in the back here. Do you go to our school? Scarlett asks me. I'm Scarlett, by the way. I'm Clara, her sister. And I'm Jenna, the best friend. The third girl introduces herself. I'm not sure how to introduce myself when I don't know my name. I'm not from here, I answer. I came with a woman that I work for. Her name is Giselle. As for my name, I'm not sure how to explain it, but I've lost my memories of my past and have no idea what it is or who I am. I'm sorry that I can't give a proper introduction. Their faces turned to pity at my words. I didn't want anyone to feel sorry for me. If you want, you can come to sit with us, Scarlett suggests. We have an extra seat, and I would prefer giving it to you than any of the other girls around here. They tend to scream a lot, and I don't want to go deaf tonight. I laugh at her words. Is that a yes? Clara asks me. I nod. I'd love to, I only hope that Giselle does not get angry with me. Scarlett rolls her eyes. I see Giselle as one of those. Where are your seats? I ask. Scarlett smiles. There is one benefit of having a popular older sister. We get front row seats. Even though I hate these games, I know it's impressive to get the opportunity to sit up front. I'm sure you just overheard our little conversation, Clara says, embarrassed. You don't have to worry about me telling anyone, I assure her. I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable around me. Especially not after their being so nice to me. I wasn't going to say anything along those lines, Clara clarifies. I can already see you're not like that. I wanted to explain properly so that you don't think we're crazy. Also, this could help so that you would understand any future conversations that we may have. You don't have to tell me, I tell her. I know it's private. It's okay, Clara tells me. A few days ago, I found out that my boyfriend has been cheating on me for the entire relationship. I loved him and was heartbroken, but he felt no remorse. I wanted him to hurt like me, but I didn't know how when he didn't love anyone. Carter Prince doesn't love. He's one of the few werewolves out there that doesn't have to worry about mates. His family is cursed. It's a long story, and I don't want to get into that. But it's just natural for him to date and not fall in love. My sister Scarlett here despises Carter. I felt like she was the only one I could trust to make him fall in love with her and then dump him so that he could feel the way I feel now. I know it's petty, but I have to do it. It's the only way I can move on. So if you hear us talking about this the entire night or see Carter heading our way, you know what's happening. Even though this doesn't sound like the best plan out there, that Carter Prince guy sure sounds like an ass. Clara was right, he would deserve to get payback for hurting them. I hope you get your revenge, and he regrets everything he did to you, I tell her. She smiles, the game is about to start. How about we grab our seats? I nod and follow them to the front row. I'm hoping that Giselle is too preoccupied with her friend and Kane to notice that I'm now sitting in front of her. Clara and Scarlett continue to talk more about the game, but my mind is far. I'm worried about Kane. He's being stuck here with Giselle, just like I am. I don't try to turn around to look at them in fear that she would spot me and make a scene. I didn't want to spoil tonight for the kind girls next to me. They seemed to have enough problems on their backs. I didn't want to add to those problems. Besides, Kane wasn't a weak person, he would be able to survive a game next to her. The crowd goes up in an uproar as the players run out into the field. My eyes go from one player to the next, but it's not hard to tell who Carter Prince is. He's the one that got the most cheers from the audience. I can confirm it's him from the name on the back of his uniform. Ugh, Clara says beside me. I forgot how good Carter looked at these games. He always outshone everyone around him. I used to feel so proud knowing that I was his girlfriend. I felt lucky knowing that I was the one he was coming home to at night while all the other girls wished they had him. Now I know that they had him all along. I was the fool. I couldn't argue with her. He did look outstanding in the middle of the field, and judging by the screaming girls all around us, I wasn't the only one to think like this. Of course, he didn't compete with Kane, but they were both appeasing to the eyes in their own ways. I'm about to respond when I spot a figure leaving the game. It's Kane, I know, without turning fully to look at him. Is it okay if I leave for a few minutes? I ask the girls. Their eyes are glued to the field, but they still manage to nod at me. I rush to catch up with him. I didn't want to lose him in this crowd. I keep walking, just like he is. I'm not sure where he is heading, but he appears to know where he is going. Hermano. I hear him call out to someone suddenly. The man turns to look at him, and immediately the two of them shake hands. It's not the first time that they've met. I'm sure of it. Is this another one of Kane's good friends? How well did they know each other, and how did Kane know that he could find him at this game? I've heard some stories about you that I'm hoping are not true, Hermano tells him. Stories that he's hoping aren't true? What stories could that be? This was the first time that I was getting a glimpse into his life, and I didn't want to leave until I'd heard everything. Kane clutches the back of his neck and looks a bit guilty. It's probably true. Most of it, at least. If it makes you feel any better, my life feels now. Maya is missing, I don't know where she is. Everyone believes that she's dead, but I'm not giving up on her. I can feel it in my heart that she's still breathing and waiting for me. I cover my hand to stop myself from making noise after hearing him say that Maya was missing and possibly dead. That would explain so much. Kane was always so worried whenever he mentioned her, which was always an infrequent occasion since he didn't like bringing her up to anyone that he didn't think deserved to know about her. Hermano folds his arms and sighs, I want to be pissed at you. The foolish decisions you made, affected my sister Lucy and her entire family, but I can see that you're also suffering. I won't hold this against you since I owe you my life. But I expect you to make things right, old friend. You made a mistake, I understand that. You were blinded by rage. It's an emotion that I'm pretty familiar with. I know that it makes anyone act without thinking. From everything I've heard so far, Kane wasn't sure if Maya was still alive, but he hoped that she was. It also seems like he has done some horrible things in the past. According to this man, it's because he was blinded by rage. What was he angry about to make him act foolishly? I need your help to find her, Kane tells him. There is no mistaking the desperation in his voice. I could see clearly how hard it was for him to ask for help. He was only doing it because he had no other choice. He couldn't find Maya on his own, and he was willing to get on his knees to ask anyone to help him find her. My heart aches at how much he loves this woman. What can I do? Kane runs a hand through his hair. I have a list of people I believe could be responsible for her disappearance. I was hoping you could help me find their locations. I know that the council will have information on things like this, especially those with a close relationship with them or even their enemies. I don't have many people that I can turn to for help. I will forever be indebted to you if you help me. Hermano nods, I'll come to find you when I have the information you want. I told you before that I would do anything to help you after what you've done for me. I'm just returning the favor. There's just one more thing, Kane says. You know how obsessed Giselle has always been with me. She's finally trapped me. She's forcing me to marry her. For now, I can't escape. If you come looking for me, be careful. I don't want her to suspect anything. The man nods. You're truly having a shitty time, aren't you? Kane's jaw clenches, but we all notice a figure trying to sneak past us. Hermano growls and jumps forward, grabbing the girl by her waist and pinning her to the wall. Where do you think you're going, princess? Is that any way to speak to your princess? She demands. You're my bodyguard. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm surprised by their actions and make a sound before I could stop myself. Kane turns and spots me. I swallow. The girl who happened to be a princess wasn't the only one in trouble. His eyes narrow, and I feel my heartbeat increase. Were you eavesdropping? It was not intentional, I say as I step backward. He quirks a brow and moves forward. How much did you hear? Nothing much. I lie. I would have believed you if I didn't know how good you are at lying. He growls. I narrow my eyes. That's unfair. You know the reasons why I lied to you the first time. Why would you use that against me right now? Because somehow or the other, everything you do always affects me. He exclaims. He looks frustrated over this, but how was any of it my fault? Maybe it was my fault a little. I shouldn't have followed him out here. I was simply concerned about him. No matter how hard I tried to keep my distance, my heart and body pulled me towards him. It kept caring for this man, and I have no idea why. Without my memories, I couldn't figure anything out at all. I was being held in the dark from my mind. I'm not doing it on purpose. I can't control your emotions or actions when it concerns me, I point out. I can barely control my own emotions. But I can thank you for always taking care of me when you don't have to. It's why I always try to help you in return because I know that you're the only person that has ever been there for me. I understand that you may not want to do it, but the fact remains that you have helped me on multiple occasions. I want to help you too, Kane. You can keep pushing me away, but I will keep trying to do whatever I can to make your life easier. He runs a hand through his hair as though he's frustrated with my words. That was never my intention. I made it clear that I wanted to make things easier for him, not more difficult. I don't need your help. He exclaims. Why don't you get that? There are things that I have to do, and I need to do them alone. I can't allow anyone else to get hurt because of me. Do you understand that? My lips part. Did he just let it slip that he didn't want me to help him because he was afraid I would get hurt? The surprised look in his eyes tells me that even he wasn't aware of his feelings. He also didn't realize that he was only trying to protect me by keeping me out of his problems. As long as you are here, I can assure you that I will be safe, I promise him. That's the problem, I won't always be here. He tells me. There is someone else that I need to protect, and she will always come first. When I find her, this will all be over. I will not see you again. If Giselle realizes that you helped me in any way, what will happen to you when I'm not there? I didn't once think about this. I didn't want to think of a time when Kane would no longer be in my life. I already knew that I would be heartbroken when he finally found Maya. Everything will spin out of control in my life. But I also learned before that I couldn't always work for Giselle. I would have to find a way to leave eventually. I won't always be here either, Kane. You know that I can't stay with her as long as I'm pregnant. I will be leaving. I need to find the right opportunity. You do not need to worry about me. I can take care of myself. I assure him, but he doesn't look convinced. Who were those girls that were with you earlier? He asks me, bringing our conversation to a different topic. Did you see that? Of course, I saw it. You were in front of me, and I'm not aware that you have any friends since you've lost your memory. He answers me. Did Giselle also see me? I ask him. No, he answers sharply. So who are they? How do they know you? Would you believe me if I told you that I only met them today? And that they were kind enough to let me sit in front with them since I didn't have a seat? I ask. Why would I not believe you? He answers my question with one of his own. Because you told me that I'm a good liar. I remind him. Do you not remember saying that to me a few minutes ago? His eyes search my face, and I'm unsure what he's looking for, but my heart skips a beat. It's always hard for me when he stops talking to look at me. Kane doesn't look at you like an average person does, he takes his time examining everything about you. At least that's the way he looks at me. Almost as though he's trying to figure out something that's been bothering him. You should go back. He tells me suddenly. I step toward him. You don't even have to question whether you can trust me or not. I promised him even though he never once asked me to. I'll always protect you because I know you would do the same for anyone that needed your help. I meant those words. He can trust me. I'll never repeat what I heard him say to that hermano person earlier. His secret will be safe with me. And as much as it pained me to even think of it, I hope he can find Maya. I hope that she can make him whole again. I want nothing more than to see Kane happy again. I don't think he realizes just how honest I am about whatever I say to him. I also don't know if he trusts me after lying to him about him kissing me. However, I don't need him to trust me. I want him to know that I'll always be by his side even when he doesn't want me to be there. Please return to your seat. He repeats, ignoring everything I just said to him. I'm not happy that he's just ignored my words. I didn't exactly expect him to say thank you, but I also didn't expect him to totally ignore it. And shouldn't you also return? I ask him. Giselle expects me to be here instead of the front row seat, but she expects you to be next to her. Doesn't she? He sighs, heavily, can you just do what I say for once? I cross my arms over my chest and press my lips tightly together. I was showing him that I wasn't backing down. He would not get me to move just because he orders me to do it. I may care for Kane, but it doesn't mean that he could tell me what to do. In this case, I didn't want to leave because I wanted to be near him. He just explained to me that he wouldn't always be here. That this would all be over the moment that Maya was back in his life. Knowing this only made me want to stay as close to him as this world would let me. I don't think there would ever be a day where I could tell Cain my true feelings. I would be a selfish person if I let him know how I truly felt about him, even after learning that he could never feel the same. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here with you. I snap. If you want to return, you can. If not, we will both remain here until someone finds us. He knew that I was referring to Giselle when I said someone. The moment she realized that Cain was taking forever to return to his seat, she would come looking for him. He knew this just as much as I did. What is your problem? He asks. My problem? I ask him. Why don't you try to figure it out on your own? Cain rubs a hand down his face. He seems to be frustrated with me. Good. I don't want to be the only one frustrated. He should also join me. After all, he's the one that's causing all of these emotions to stir up within me. Did I say something to upset you? He asks me. He seems to be concerned all of a sudden. I want to laugh at his question. He's said so many things to me that have made me upset. And yet he has the audacity to ask me that? I turn away from his penetrating gaze and pretend to be looking at the game. There are constant cheers and it's clear that Carter's team is winning. I can only imagine what the kind girls from earlier are feeling right now to see him perform so well after everything he's done. Just like me, they must be agitated right now. Does someone else have your attention now? Cain asks behind of me. He sounds annoyed and it's weird to hear that tone of voice from him. It can't be that he is jealous. I've never seen him as the jealous type of guy. I'm sure that I'm reading too much into it. There is no way that he will be jealous because I'm looking at a guy in the field. He doesn't know why I'm looking, however. It's not because I like him, it's because my new friends hate him. I spun around to face him angrily. How could anyone else have my attention when a man like you exists? I demand from him. He looks taken aback by my question. A man like me? He asks, startled. What on earth does that even mean? What that means isn't necessary, all I'm saying is that I'm not exactly happy with everything you've told me. I know that you don't owe me anything. I know that I'm not the center of your attention. I know that you love Maya, and I now know that you're trying to find her. I understand now that your life is anything but simple. I know that getting mixed up in it isn't the smartest thing for me to do, and I think that's why you keep pushing me away. I'm here to tell you that it isn't your decision to make. It's my life. This is my decision to stand by your side no matter what. I want to help you find Maya. I want to help bring back your happiness. I want to help you escape from Giselle, and whatever it is she's holding against you to force you to marry her. I tell him. I want to help, and I want you to let me. Cain exhales loudly, and he doesn't take his eyes off me. I squirm beneath his gaze, but I don't look away. He takes a step toward me and then another. He doesn't stop until he's inches away from my body. Do you understand what it means to get mixed up in my life? He asks me. Do you know what it is like to help someone that doesn't deserve your kindness? To help someone that deserves every bit of torture that he gets? You don't know my story. If you knew it, you would run as far away from me as possible. Maya is in danger because of me. I've done unforgivable things to her, and she didn't deserve it. If she were here, she would tell you exactly what I did, and she would make sure that you understood the monster that I truly was. I shake my head at him. I don't believe you. You love her. How can you hurt someone that you love so much? What are the two of you doing back here alone? I jump at the interruption. I slowly turn around to see Giselle standing in front of me with a murderous expression on her face. Crap! This is the last thing either of us wanted right now. But we weren't exactly careful about it, were we? Are you honestly that pathetic to find any opportunity to be around my fiancé? Giselle demands from me. Kane was still standing close to me. There is no way for us to explain this to her. It's not like I can tell her we were talking about Maya either. I step back from him, not wanting to make her angrier. We were at fault. We were supposed to be more careful than this. Maybe I should have listened to him when he told me to get back to my seat. But then Giselle may have made another scene if she recognized me at the front row. She didn't like anyone doing better than her, and she would hate for her maid to have the front row seat. I'm the one that came to her, Kane steps in. Don't blame her when you were the one to ask her to stay up here because you were too spiteful to buy a ticket for her. How do you expect a maid to sit next to her master? Giselle demands from Kane. And stop trying to take the blame for her. I'm done giving this girl chances. She will finally get the punishment that she deserves. I'm surprised that Kane is stepping up to protect me. He knows how important it is to stay on Giselle's good side, but still, he was protecting me, just like he always does. He claims not to want anything to do with me, but the goodness inside of him makes him take care of me even when he shouldn't do it. If you try to stop me this time, I will marry you tomorrow, and if you refuse, all of your friends will be murdered tomorrow morning. You won't have a say in that matter. Do you hear me, Kane? She threatens him. Her words spark so much rage inside of me. It also cleared up so many things for me. Now I knew why Kane was marrying Giselle. She held his friends captive, forcing him to marry her even though he was in love with Maya. Giselle was worse than I initially thought she was. She wasn't just a spoiled brat. She was someone that would kill the people close to Kane to have him to herself. I realize now that my life was in more danger than I'd initially thought. Now that she saw us alone next to each other, she was ready to get rid of me. She wasn't taking any chances with Kane. She used every force possible to get him, and no one could take him away from her, not if she had a say in the matter. Kane looks helpless as he looks between Giselle and me. He's conflicted on what to do. He doesn't want to marry her, and I'm not going to be the reason why he has to choose between marrying her and protecting me. It was time that I stood up for myself without him interfering. I'm okay with whatever punishment you have for me, I tell Giselle. I would not show fear to someone like her. Giselle smiles, that's exactly what I wanted to hear from you. You don't have to do this, Kane tells her. Why are you trying to hurt an innocent girl? Innocent girl? Giselle demands from him. This innocent girl that you love to call her has been staring at you since the first time she saw you. If you haven't realized, Kane, this girl is obsessed with you. She's always running to be by your side and for any chance to be alone with you, like right now. This may be the first time she's succeeded, but I'm not going to allow any more of this nonsense. I don't want a maid who also wants my fiancé. Today is the last day that she will work for me. She will regret everything she has done after seeing the punishment I have waiting for her. My cheeks are red from her words. What would Cain think of them? Would he think I'm crazy for showing so much interest in him? That wasn't important right now. She said other things that were even more alarming. What punishment could she possibly be referring to? I was happy not to be working for her anymore, but what did that mean for my life? Was she going to try and kill me? If that were the case, I knew that she wouldn't make it easy for me. Giselle would want me to suffer before I die. Telling her that I was pregnant would not give her a heart either. I wouldn't waste my time trying to get her to let me go without harming me. I warned Cain with my eyes not to interfere. This was my problem, not his. He has enough problems. He couldn't keep helping me, he had to support himself first. I notice that his fists tighten at his sides, and it looks like he's using every last bit of self-control he has left not to interfere right now. Follow me, she tells me. I walk behind her and feel Cain following after me. This may be the last time that I will ever see him again. There are so many things that I want to say to him, but I don't want to make things worse for either one of us. The moment we enter the car, Giselle gives directions to her driver, and I'm unsure where she is taking me. The tension between all of us is unmistakable. It takes us an hour to reach what looks like an old, abandoned building. What are we doing here? Cain asks her with an edge to his voice. I'm praying that he keeps his calm. I don't want him to do anything that he will regret by tomorrow. I want to remind him that he must stay focused on the woman he loves, but I know I can't say that in front of Giselle. This is where my father lived a long time ago, she answers him with mischief in her gaze. There is a dungeon here. One of the very best. After all, my father looked after the entire construction of it. No one is in there now, but I think that my maid will be the first to stay here since this place was abandoned. She's going to love those dungeons. A place like this is perfect for a woman like her. This is where she belongs, locked in a dungeon with no food and water. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. No one to come to her rescue. I could hear Cain's sharp intake of breath as her words hit the both of us. She was planning on trapping me in a dungeon until I died. She made it clear that there would be no food or water. I knew that Giselle wanted me dead, and this was my confirmation. I notice that Cain's fingers are digging into the seat, and if I don't get out of this vehicle right away, he might do something stupid. I was trying hard to keep him out of this mess. It wasn't his fight. Let's go then, I tell Giselle as I get out of the vehicle. I was sticking to my plan of not showing how terrified I was of this. Cain attempts to leave the vehicle, but she insists that he stays outside while she carries me to the dungeon. It's not like I didn't know that this would eventually happen to me. I knew that something like this would happen whenever Giselle found Cain and me in a compromising position. And she hadn't even seen anything serious between the both of us. What would she have done if she'd seen him kiss me? There was no point in asking that question anymore. I may not be alive to know the answer after today. If no one came to rescue me, there was no way for me to escape from this place. There were hundreds of cells, all built uniquely. I couldn't believe that Giselle and her father had something this horrible made. Was this how the dungeons in their castle back home looked like also? The same dungeons where Cain's friends were being held in. I've never met them before, but if they were anything like Cain, they didn't deserve to be locked up somewhere this awful. No kind person deserved anything like this. These types of dungeons were more for people like Giselle and her father. How wonderful would it be to see them trapped in something they built themselves? I still couldn't believe that she would do something this horrible to get Cain to marry her. The woman needed a reality check. She needed someone to show her that it wasn't possible to get everything she wanted. Her father was the reason she was like this. He was the one that gave her everything that she wanted. He never taught her that there were certain things you couldn't have, no matter how much you wanted them. We're almost there, she tells me. I roll my eyes at her. There was no use pretending that I liked her now. She grabs me by my hair, and it pisses me off. It's not like I can get her angrier than she already was at me. What's the worst that could happen if I finally give her a good piece of my mind? This is what I get for being nice and giving a girl a home who had no memory of her past. She tries to take my fiancé from me. She spat. She pulls me backward, and before she has a chance to do anything else, I slap her hard across the face. Before she has a chance to do anything, I elbow her hard in her stomach. Her eyes widen, and she shouts for her guard to come forward. I don't want her to get a single opportunity to escape. She shouts. I change my mind on where I want her to die. Lock her in the cold cell and drop the temperature so that she freezes to her death. A cold cell? Did that mean what it sounded like? I wouldn't care about her threat if I didn't know I had my babies to protect. You deserve everything that's coming to you. She snares. You don't think I didn't see the way you always looked at Cain? Did you think you could outsmart me and get him all to yourself? In a few days, I will marry that man, and you'll probably be dead by then. While we are starting a life together, you'll be long gone. Sadly, you're going to die without even knowing your name. That's how pathetic your life is. Do you think you'll be happy with a man that doesn't love you? I ask her. It's clear that he doesn't want you. He's being forced into this marriage. He's in love with another woman. That woman is not me, but it isn't you either. Her name is Maya. But I'm sure you already know that. Maybe you're responsible for her disappearance, you're that sneaky. Whatever the case, that man will never love you. Do you think that I'm the one that's going to suffer? No, Giselle, you are the one that will live a depressing life. You'll eventually be lost in your greed and devious ways, no one wants to be around you, and those choosing to stay by your side only want one thing from you. To use you. Continue living your ridiculous life trying to make others believe that you're happy. She rolls her eyes at me, but I can see that my words have affected her. I'm happy that I can finally speak my mind around her. I've been waiting to tell her exactly what I think of her. Her guard grabs me by my hand, and I jam my fist into his stomach. I attempt to run when I see that there are 3 others in front of me. Where did they come out from? Does she have guards here even though this place is now abandoned? Or were they following us all along without me knowing? Either way, there is no way that I can escape without them harming me. It wasn't a risk I was willing to take with my condition. I let the guard roughly pull me along with him. I feel my body shake the moment he shoves me into the freezing cell. I wouldn't be able to survive long in here. What was I supposed to do? cane I couldn't stop pacing in my room. I didn't know what to do. My mind and heart were racing. I could stay here and pretend that I didn't care for Giselle's maid, but I would cause more damage if I continued to lie to myself. I had already lost Maya because of my foolish choices, choices that I still regret to this day. I had no idea where she was, but I knew where Giselle's maid was being held captive. She was someone that I could save. I had to find a way to get her out of there without Giselle suspecting anything. But now that this entire thing had happened, she wouldn't let me out of her sight. She wouldn't allow me to try and help the girl. She knew well enough that I wouldn't want to sit back and let her die. I had no idea what kind of dungeon she was being kept inside, but I didn't want her in any jail. She was pregnant, and it was dangerous for her to be kept under poor conditions. It wasn't just the innocent girl I had to protect, I had also to protect her unborn babies. I had to think of something fast that would help me distract Giselle. Anything that would buy me enough time to save her. My mind is racing with ideas. My head felt like it would explode any minute now. How could I help her without Giselle finding out? She walks in just then, and I try to pretend that I'm doing fine even though my body is going haywire on the inside. I'm terrified of not being able to protect another woman that I cared about. And it bothered me how much faith the girl had in me. She believed that I was so good that I found myself trying to live up to her expectations. I felt like I would go insane if I didn't get to her soon. There was only one other woman I ever felt like this over. Like I would go crazy if I didn't protect her. I'm confused by my feelings, but I don't have time to sit and think about it. I need to get to her before any harm can be done to her. You look like something is troubling you, Giselle notes. I hope it has nothing to do with my maid. I know you have a good heart, but she isn't a good person. What good woman looks at a man who's about to get married? I did us both a favor by getting rid of her. I stiffen at her words, and I can't hide my reaction from her this time. What do you mean by getting rid of her? Is she not alive right now? She shrugs her shoulders. I can't say. I had her stuffed into a freezing cell without any clothes. If she's still alive, she doesn't have much longer to live. My blood boils at her words, and I'm panicking on the inside. It's much worse than I initially thought. I want to marry you tomorrow. I lie to Giselle. I don't think that I can wait much longer. Let's have the wedding tomorrow. It doesn't have to be big. Invite only the important people, it will be short notice either way. Tomorrow? She asks in shock. That's right there. You're not giving me enough time to plan my dream wedding to my dream man. I don't care about a perfect wedding. I want us to be married. Is that not what you wanted all along? For the wedding to happen quickly? Are you changing your mind now? I ask her. Do you not want to marry me? Should we end this relationship then? Her eyes widen. Are you insane? Why would I want to end something I've wanted for so long? If you want the wedding to happen tomorrow, that's okay with me. I'll be extra busy trying to get everything together. I'll have to hire extra staff and get the word out to my friends. The decorations need to be done as well. I'm not sure how to pull this off, but we will have the wedding in the evening. It should give me enough time to place everything together. I nod. This is exactly what I wanted. for Giselle to be so swarmed with responsibilities that she doesn't even stop and think for a second of my whereabouts. It would give me enough time to get to her maid and bring her out of the cell before she could freeze to death. That is, if she hadn't already. I didn't want to think of that. I didn't want to think of the possibility that I'd lost her too. There is someone that I'll like to invite, I tell her. You're having all your friends over, and I don't have any of mine. That's because they're all locked up in my dungeon. Don't worry, I'll release them as soon as we're married. She promises me. I have other friends, I tell her. Friends from the council. Oh. She asks. I've never known this detail about you. Well, if you want to invite your friend, go right ahead. I'll allow it since it's our wedding day. This is exactly what I was hoping she would say. I would have to ask Hermano and his brothers for another favor, not just for him to find out where the people from that list were staying. I would need them to help me free my people. When they were free, I would burn that castle to the ground. If you cannot find me, I tell her. I'm just giving the invitation out to the council. They won't come if I don't meet them in person and tell them about the wedding myself. She doesn't look suspicious, and I'm glad that my plan is working so far. I was brilliant for using the wedding as a way to get her off my back. The wedding was Giselle's one weakness. I was finally getting to use it to my advantage. Austin, we've gone through half of the list already, I tell James. None of them were responsible for Maya's disappearance. It was killing me inside not knowing who was responsible for taking her away from us. I know, James says to me. But that means that we're closer than ever to finding our sister. We all agree now that there is still a chance that she is alive. We are not going to accept her death until we find the people that took her from us. If it's one good thing that Cain did for our family, it was to remind us of the love we share for our sister. We've fought for her our entire lives, we will not let anything stop us from finding her now. My brother is right. Nothing will stop us from finding the ones responsible for hurting her and taking her away from us. First, it was Cain, now, someone else had taken her away. Cain would have been dead by now if Maya hadn't stopped us. But everything happens for a reason, because of him, we were reminded of who we were and what we did for Maya. We didn't give up on our family, we kept fighting to keep each other safe. I stare at a picture of my loving sister and feel a sharp pain in my chest. She's been one of the best things to ever happen to our family. Without her, everything felt so incomplete. I wish that I knew if she was still alive, and if she were, I wish I knew if she was okay. Not knowing anything was driving me close to insanity. The only thing that kept me sane was my mate and my child. Without them, I would be out of my mind with worry for my sister. I miss her too, James says as though reading my mind. Every day, I see her face everywhere that I turn. There are memories throughout the palace of her, she has touched almost every corner of every room. I want to bring her home to Austin. I want her back. I want our sister safe in our arms again. Every word that he just spoke, I agreed with it all. I haven't been able to sleep with worry and fear of what's happening to her. Knowing how much she trusted us doesn't help with the guilt either. I knew that I had let her down more than once. I wanted no more of that. I nod, we will get her back, brother. We will get our sister back. Whoever took her will suffer the worst fate than any of our enemies from the past. I will make sure of it. Kane, I've left everything in place to ensure that Giselle doesn't bother looking for me at all. I also confirmed that her father would not ask any questions about my whereabouts. I couldn't trust either one of them. The moment they had an idea of what I was up to, they would do everything in their power to make sure that my plan failed. I was done trying to KSS up to Giselle to protect my people. I didn't want to ask anyone for help, but now I knew that I couldn't escape them without some help. I'm sure that Hermano would help me once I explained what was happening. He owed me one for something I helped him with in the past. But even he and his brothers would not be enough to free me from Giselle. I remember the woman that tried to protect me in the past from Austin. She was willing to help me in the past, and I'm not even sure why. But hopefully, she was still ready to help me. I would need all of the help I could get to escape Giselle and get my men out of her grasp. I couldn't wait for the chance to be free of her. For the opportunity to free everyone that she was holding captive. Maybe that's exactly what I needed. If I can let everyone out of the dungeons, they can help me fight her. It will give me enough time to escape while simultaneously burning her castle to the ground. I can feel my heart pound against my chest as I near the abandoned castle. The girl can either be dead or alive. I wasn't sure if I was ready to face reality. I muster up all of the strength I could find as I race into the building. I had to find her. And I had to find her alive and healthy. She needed to be okay. If she wasn't, I had a good feeling that I would never be able to recover from this. I didn't understand how I could feel so much for a woman that wasn't my mate. These feelings weren't right. Something had to be terribly wrong. I couldn't be feeling this way for a woman who I barely knew. I pushed through door after door, trying to find where she was. I was desperate to find her. I wasn't sure which cell she was in. There were hundreds of these things here. What were they even doing with this amount of cells in one castle? How many innocent people did they trap and kill inside of here? I tried not to think of that as I barreled into another cell. It couldn't be any of these. I knew it because they weren't cold cells. They were average room temperature. I knew this because I heard Giselle say that the cell she'd kept her mate inside was a cold one, where she could freeze to death. I held my head in frustration. Where are you? I roar as my voice echoes. I hear a small cry, and it's enough to have me racing as fast as I've ever moved in my entire life to get to her. I pound the door open with my fist, not caring that I'm bleeding from the force. I spot the girl in a corner, curled up in a ball. My heart almost jumps out of my chest from the sight in front of me. For a moment, I can't move. I'm relieved to have found her, but I'm also pissed by the condition that she's in. I finally rush to her and pull her into my arms. I'm here, I whisper as I walk us out of the freezing cell. You're safe now. I promise. Ch-70. I couldn't believe that Kane was here. A part of me felt like I was dreaming. And maybe I am dreaming. My body is so cold that I'm not even sure I'm alive. I try to move, but I can't. My body feels as immovable as stone. I can't even move my fingers. My lips are stuck together, and I'm scared even to try and speak. Kane leans against the wall and pulls my freezing body against his. It's okay, he whispers. I'm only doing this to keep you warm. Thank you. I stammer from the cold. I'm surprised that anything was able to come out of my mouth. Giselle tried to kill me. And she would have succeeded if Cain didn't reach in time. I can't believe that the evil woman trapped me inside an ice-cold dungeon. She wanted me to freeze to my death. I didn't even know that those kinds existed until now. And how was it even still operational when they no longer lived there? We have no idea how long that place has been abandoned for. I bury my face against his neck and grip his shirt. It's so cold. I cry. I've never felt this cold in my entire life, and I want it to stop. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I hate it so much. Cain's body is warm, but it doesn't feel like enough. I need more than this to help with the coldness of my body. His arms tighten around me. I know it is, sweetheart, he whispers. He's trying to soothe me, and while it does help, it's still not enough. I need more than this. Cain, I cry as I try to move my body closer to his. Cold. He growls as he tries to pull me closer. When he realizes that even that isn't helping, he mumbles a few curse words and pulls his shirt off his body. He doesn't stop there. There isn't a single piece of cloth left on him, and I can tell. I can feel every part of him pressed tightly against me as he tries to give me the heat from his body. My body still trembles, but his actions make it a lot better than it was. But I'm still freezing. And I know that Cain can sense it also. He can feel how my body still trembles in his arms even though he tries his best to keep me pressed tightly against him. Giselle made sure to leave me without any clothes inside that death trap. She walked into the cell after her guards had pushed me into it and stripped me until I was left with nothing. The woman was just that cruel. Cain's hands begin to rub up and down my shoulders as he tries to create some friction between us. Once again, it helps but only a little. It's not enough. I'm sorry, he whispers. I'm sorry I took this long to get to you. I hate that you're suffering like this because of me. This is all my fault. I should have been more careful around Giselle. I shouldn't have done anything to piss her off. I hate that no matter what I do, I can't seem to be able to give you the warmth that you need. I can barely speak to tell him how I feel right now, but I don't want him to feel like this is his fault. It's not his fault. He didn't do anything wrong. He's not obligated to take care of me. We have never had that kind of relationship. I'm more indebted to him than he is to me. As far as Giselle is concerned, no matter what he did, she would have found a way to get rid of me. She never liked me from the start. Not your fault, I whisper and try to get closer to him. I don't know what my body needs right now, he's already giving me plenty. How can I keep asking for more? I can't help my situation, I'm freezing off. You're still so cold, he says softly, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. It may scar both of us, but I don't have another choice right now. I have to make it better for you. My eyes widen when he touches mine, I gasp, and my heart pounds. Cain's feel me just as good as I remembered them from the last time he kissed me while he was drunk. I couldn't get that out of my head, and I was sure that I would never be able to get this out of my head either. This time Cain seems to be in control of his actions. He knows that he's only doing this to help my body recover from the cold. He's trying his best to make my body warm again. I will forever be grateful to him. I know how hard this must be for him to do, it would feel like he's betraying Maya. I don't want to think about that right now. And I don't think he will want that either. He's just trying to help me, just like he always does. I didn't think a kiss could have this much of an effect on me. His warm lips are enough to warm mine. My body is getting more than it needs to return to its average body temperature. But it wants more. It's becoming greedy, and it's only because he's the one that's kissing me. If it were anyone else, I wouldn't have cared at all. I gasp when Kane breaks away. He slowly moves from one side of my neck to the other. He's trying to every inch of my body in hopes of making it warm again. I couldn't believe Kane would do something like that for me. His heart belonged to another woman, it would kill him to do this, yet he was still doing it because he knew he could die from the cold. Maybe that was an exaggeration, but he wasn't taking that chance. "Forgive me," he whispers, and I'm not sure if he's asking forgiveness from the woman he loves or from me. He hovers over me for a few seconds, and I find the strength to say, "You don't have to do this. I don't want you to do something you will regret. You've done enough already." He closes his eyes and inhales a great deal of air. When he opens his eyes next, I can barely make them out. They're black with a need that is hard to mistake. It has taken control of him, and there is nothing on this earth that can stop him. I don't think I've ever known pleasure like this before. I'm dying for more of this. I need more of him. Now that I've gotten a taste of this, I know that nothing and no one could ever be as good as this. I'll never feel this way again for another man. I knew that much. And because of this, I'm more greedy than before. I want to think about my own needs, I don't want to care about anyone else. I want this. I want him. I may not have him in the long run for at least tonight, I want him for myself. I want to imagine that he's mine, that he doesn't belong to anyone else but me. I can tell that Kane's holding on to the last bit of control that he can find. "How do you feel?" he whispers as he rubs his hand down my hair. There is so much concern in his eyes that I want to cry in frustration. He was a good man. I couldn't take advantage of his kindness. I had to stop this for the both of us. If I let things go further, I would be scarred for life. No one would ever be able to live up to him. And if Kane knew that he went all the way with me, he would never be able to forgive himself. This is the worst thing he can ever do. If he did find Maya, how would he tell her about what he did with me here today? I touch his cheek lightly. "Thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me since the first day that I met you. I'll never forget you, Kane. Even if one day we go separate ways, please know that I will never forget you and that I'm always thinking of you. As for how I'm feeling, I'm much better. I don't need you to go any further for me." He closes his eyes, and I can see that he's having an inner battle within himself. I can see that he's also returning to his normal self, which means that he would be pissed about his lack of control earlier. Neither of us moves for a few minutes. Kane eventually sighs and guides my head to his chest. "You can stay here until you recover for good. Then we will leave before Giselle realizes I've been gone for too long. There are a few places I need to go. I have to find Hermano. I may have to pay the council a visit to get to him. Then I'm heading back to Giselle. There is going to be a fight. I'm going to free my people from her, and she's going to pay for trying to kill you. I can hear the determination in his voice. How could I not fall for someone who fought so hard to protect me? He's been nothing but gentle towards me. Even now, his hands are extremely careful with me while holding me against. What happened between you and Maya? I whisper. I want to know the entire story about them. There were so many missing pieces, and while Kane doesn't have to tell me, I wish that he would. I could feel his sharp intake of breath when I mentioned her. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, I assure him. But I still really want to know. I want to know why she's no longer by your side. What caused the two of you to separate? I can feel how much my question about her is affecting him. Should I have remained silent and just held on to him? This may be the only chance I'll ever get to be this close to him, and yet I chose to mess it up by asking about the one person that made Kane put up a wall around everyone. What was I thinking? I don't think I was thinking at all. Maya's family was responsible for the death of my father and sister. I don't know the entire story behind it, but I was devastated after losing them. They were the only family that I had. I was blinded by rage and wanted to hurt her family like they'd hurt me. In order to do so, I kidnapped Maya, and I mistreated her in the worst ways possible. She fought back against me. I don't know how she got the strength to do it, but she continued to stand up for herself. Each time I hurt her, I would feel it in my heart. She was my mate. Hurting her meant hurting me. When I was no longer blinded by my rage, it was already too late for us. I had fallen in love with her, but she was broken because of me. When her brothers finally found us, they almost killed me, and I was happy to let them. I knew that I deserved everything that was happening to me. But Maya stopped them from killing me. Despite everything I'd done to her, she still chose to protect me from her brothers. I didn't understand her. I still don't understand her. How can she show me mercy after the many times I hurt her? And then they took her from me. Her family took her. But I also let her go. I knew that I couldn't be selfish. I couldn't have her because I was the one that broke her in half. He says. I look up at him, and I can see that he's lost in those memories of her. I hold back the tears that threaten to fall from hearing the hurt in his voice. I was planning on getting her back. On begging her to come back to me. To give me another chance. I was desperate to have her near me again. But before I could do that, her brothers came for me again. They tried to kill me again. And I didn't know what was happening until I realized that something must have happened to her. They told me that I had killed their sister. A woman by the name of Gabriella saved me that day. I don't know why she did it. I don't know who she was to Maya, but she saved me. I was devastated by the news. But I didn't want to believe it. I can still feel the bond between us, it's still strong. How can it be this strong if she's gone? I don't think that my mate is dead. I think that someone is holding her captive, and they want us to believe that she's gone. Maya's family has many enemies, I was one of them. I'm sure they pissed off someone else. When I met Hermano, I gave him the list of all the people that could be responsible for her disappearance. I'm hoping that I can find her again. To hold her in my arms. To tell her how sorry I am. To tell her how much I love her and how much I love our unborn child. I gasp at the mention of his unborn child. Maya was pregnant? Now I understood why he reacted the way he did when he found out that I was pregnant. So many things were finally making sense to me. I can't hold back the tears this time. I hate that he had to go through so many things all at once. And then he also got trapped by Giselle. Now you can see that I deserve everything that's happening to me. I had no right to hurt Maya. I should have never let her suffer the way that she did. I deserve to pay for all the wrong I've done to her. And I'll gladly accept it all, but first I want Maya to be safe and happy. She doesn't deserve any of the things that have been happening to her. She's always been this bright ray of sunshine. All I wish is to see her that way again. The tears roll down my cheeks. This catches his attention. I know this because there is a sudden hitch in his voice. He lightly touches my chin and gently tilts my face upwards so that he can see me. Why are you crying? I bite my lips. I'm sad. You don't deserve all the things that's happened to you, Kane. You've already paid enough for hurting Maya. If she knew how much you love her, she would want nothing more than to be in your arms again. You made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. You can't blame yourself for the rest of your life. He shakes his head. No, I have not paid enough. You don't know the things I did to her. That's why you can say something like that. Because you don't know. I touch his cheek. I know that you're trying to be a good person now. I know that you love Maya so much that getting engaged to Giselle almost killed you inside. I know that being this close to me is torture for you because you can't be this close to anyone else but her. I know that you're only doing this because you have a good heart. I know that you deserve happiness even though you think that you don't. I also know that Maya would be happy to see you when you finally find her. Kane doesn't say anything, he just continues to look at me. I know that I have no right to ask you this after hearing how much you love her, I whisper. But there is one thing that I desperately want to know. He tries to sit up against the wall with me still in his arms. What do you want to know? Do you have any feelings at all for me? I finally found the strength to ask. I know that this isn't the right time to ask, but I feel like I'm not going to have another opportunity after this. Kane is quiet, and his silence says plenty to me. I hold my breath as I wait for his answer. His eyes are cold and distant when he opens his mouth and says, "There is only one woman in my heart, and you already know her name." Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.